The nominee before us distinguished colleagues, the nominee before us is the immediate past Deputy Governor of Yobe State, His Excellency Abubakar Aliyu, who served Yobe State as Deputy Governor very, very well. No, I borrowed the words of Senator James Manager. On behalf of my colleagues here, Your Excellency, let me welcome you to the Senate. We are already in receipt of your CV, but you can make emphasis on those things that you think you need to emphasize. And of course, if there is anything that you think the Senate should know and is not included in the CV, you are at liberty to say those things. And also, any other thing that you feel will be helpful for the Senate in the screening process. So once again, you are welcome and you can address the Senate.
Other principal officers of the Senate, distinguished senators, who are my bosses by extension, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I greet you by profession. I was born 14 April 1966. I started my school in my early days at 7 years old. During that time, you have to reach 7 years before you start school. So after finishing my early studies, I went in to professionalize in civil engineering, which I bagged a degree in civil and water resources engineering. I started work with Borno State government in the year 1988 as a technical officer. I was then posted immediately to assist in building road between Pulka to Kirawa border in Borno State. After then, I went back to study further. I obtained national diploma, then in civil engineering. Then I went back to obtain higher national diploma in civil engineering, highway and transportation engineering. I felt I need to professionalize more. I went back to the university and enrolled in part 2 in University of Maiduguri after my NYC and obtained a degree a Bachelor of Engineering in Civil and Water Resources Engineering. After then, I returned back to the service, and by that time, Borno and Yobe were separated. So I came back to my state, where I belong, Yobe State, and get involved in moving the state. I started as a principal engineer in Ministry of Integrated Rural Development, and subsequently I was posted from here to other places, and I became the Managing Director of Housing and Property Development Corporation. From there, I was posted to Ministry of Housing to serve as the Acting Permanent Secretary. From the Acting Permanent Secretary, as event unfold, my brother was the governor, together with your distinguished colleague, Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Gaidam, who was his deputy then in 2007. And you all know what happened to him. May his soul rest in peace. When he died in 2009, immediately Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Gaidam invited me to come and serve with him as a deputy governor, of which I accepted. And we were there for 2 years before we went to the polls, and we got elected in 2011. We served our first time between 2011 to 2015. The second term, we went back again to the poll and got elected to serve the second term. And because of the reason that you all know, we served the state consecutive 10 years. So here am I now before you. In fact, I was even nominated to come to the Senate. I went for the screening, I finished everything, but for some reasons, specifically to allow the campaign in our state to go without rancor, because we were faced with so many challenges coming from the frontline state, and if we add it up with some political disagreement, it will mess up the place. So after I resigned, and my boss, Dr. Ibrahim Gaidam, asked me, of which I have to say yes. I have never disobeyed him throughout our 10 years with him. He asked me to allow my elder brother, who is with you here, Senator Ibrahim Mohammed Bomoy, to take up that position. I let it for him. So they asked me to go for the reps, but already some people were doing their things at the reps level. So I thought, why should I go and disrupt that place? So I say, no. It is not that I look down upon the reps. No, I just wanted to allow them to do their things. It's just about service. Anything that comes along, leadership is service to the people. Anything that comes, let them bring it. I will do it. So in the meantime, I will allow myself free and help everybody, help the party and help the state to take to the next level. And that's what I did. So I was just called upon 3 days ago that I have been nominated to the to serve as the Minister of the Federal Republic. So here I am with you today. I'm happy, I'm glad to be here. This is the first time I've entered this beautiful hallowed chambers with these prominent personalities. Thank you very much.
Senator Kabirga.
To speak on this nominee, and that this nominee happens to be from Yobe State and a very good friend of His Excellency the Senate President. So I should say, and he has been a loyal deputy governor for 10 years. I have known him for many years, and this is a person that was given opportunity to take another slot in politics for this House of Rep, but he refused. He has been nice and humble. So, Mr. President, in view of this, he's also a fellow member of Nigerian Institute of Engineers,
Nigerian Society of Engineers,
Nigerian Society of Engineers, and also a quorum member. So I believe he's qualified to appeal to my colleagues. He has also talked about his governor who has been very loyal to him. I will appeal to my colleagues. This is a gentleman to the core. I shall at least ask them or appeal to that let him bow and go. Thank you, Mr. President.
Highly respected colleagues, James Ebiowo, manager, CEO head. Yes, representing Delta South. Mr. President, of course, this man, as is standing before us, as presidential nominee to remain minister, is from Yobe State. And his story is very interesting and touching too. But we congratulate you. Humility pays in this business and every other business. Humility pays. And it's because of your fantastic humility that you are here standing before us. For the first time, you have entered this place. This place is called the Hallowed Chamber. Yes. And of course, when I came here for the first time in 2003, many years ago, by the grace of God and by the grace of my people, the Delta South people in my state, I met your brother here, the late Senator Abubakar Aliyu, a very vibrant senator. And between 2003 and 2007, he prepared himself to become governor of Yobe State. And I remember what happened. And this is not the kind of forum to tell the full story, the little that I know. Mr. President, seated at chair, my highly respected colleagues, in this place, we have traditions, some of them unknown to the public. And I have been here. I have screened and screened and screened without promotion, but I'm here. So I know the traditions of this place. This nominee is from Yobe State. And I don't want to go too far.
One tradition.
I agree with Senator Gaya, who of course also met me here, and he knows the tradition here too. So, Mr. President, seated at chair, I second the motion, although not clearly a motion, but I second him, and that is the opinion and the view of almost all the members. True or false? Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. Are you putting the question? Bow and go. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President.
I know I will put the question, but before I put the question, please, my colleagues, permit me to make my contribution from here. because this nominee is our nominee from my state. He told a story, and that story is supposed to be instructive. He showed a very loyal person, a very humble person, a very committed person, and a very competent person, because he's an engineer by training and he worked and practiced engineering. In my state, we are a family, and any other person would have done the same. We ensure that we remain focused and united in our state so that we are able to develop our state. We have development challenges. Our former governor did so well with very little, and the present governor has taken over and is doing so well, following the footsteps of the former governor. And we are proud of our nominee. This nominee is one nominee that we all agreed to support in our state. And I want to thank you, my colleagues, for giving us the privilege for him to take a bow and go. So is it the view of this Senate that the nominee takes a bow and go? Yes. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. You can take a bow.